Welcome again, everyone, to another YouTube video. This one is going to be about weekly update for what I think is going to happen for this week. And I'm also, instead of doing a quote by Mark Douglas, I'm going to share with you guys a couple reasons why people like yourself or people that are interested in trading. I'm going to share the reasons why. Like, you always have to remember your why. And I think having a strong why is important so that it helps you with keeping up with your discipline, being consistent with your habits, and essentially just standing on business when it comes to the continuous time that you have to take and put aside to showing up on the charts. When I first started trading, I had sleepless nights, and even when I was in college, even when I was working at Walmart, even when I was running an insurance business, it's like you have to put in the time so that you can ground yourself and understand how you how you trade, how you independently trade instead of like taking people's signals and stuff like that. Everybody, I would think most people prefer to at least know and understand the order flow of the market so that they can take advantage of it and profit from it when the time is right on their own terms. So I'm going to share the reasons, most reasons why people even decide to go trading so that you can also remember why you should probably continue the course even though you might have highs and lows. Because for 6 years I've had a ton of lows and I've barely had any highs. And at the point that I'm at now, I'm starting to see highs in my trading profit and loss statements. So that's a great sign. I've never seen this amount of green before. So and that's coming from being consistent, disciplined, grounded, uh sticking to my strategy, finding a working strategy and accepting risk that also comes with it because you're not always going to be have 100% win rate. So yeah, I'm going to share these with you. One of the reasons is obviously financial freedom. On top of me sharing my weekly update, I'm going to share this stuff with you guys and my second account. My second account. This video is mainly about my second account. The previous video for July 5th, Saturday, July 5th that I dropped is mainly about the first account, which is 160 to 1,000, and I'm 30% there. Only need 70% left. Now this one is going to be mainly about weekly update on what I expect is going to happen this week. Again, some info on why it makes sense or why people decide to go the trading route, and then also I don't know if I said it, but second account explaining, going in depth and reviewing, yeah, going in depth reviewing profit and loss on this past week, and how I've been able to take my account from 900, my second account from 975. That's where the equity started, and now it's at 1,500. It's over 1,500. So I was able to do that in less than a week. I was actually able to do that. In fact, took me less than maybe 3 days. So how can you turn money, how can you almost double your money in less than 3 days in a week and be able to withdraw that money liquid cash? Something that I've never seen any realtor at all do. I mean, it might be virtually impossible. Maybe it is. Maybe somebody's done it before, but I don't personally know anybody that has been able to sell, like close, like it take 2 to 3 days to close a brand new deal and get paid on it literally the second or third day that they entered. And came in contact with the buyer. I mean, might be prop possible, but I just don't know anybody that's done that. So I think also too, it's finding a mentor, finding somebody who's great at doing whatever XYZ in whatever industry, finding somebody who's successful at it, and then taking apart their system, finding what you like, finding what you don't like about it, separating the two, then accepting only what you like about it and adding that into your system, your plan, no matter what you're in, no matter what industry you're in. Once you're an independent contractor, the goal is to become successful at that industry, and then you pick apart what you like, make it yours. So, moral of the story, let's get back into it. So, a couple reasons why people choose to go the trading route. One of them is going to be financial freedom. So, that's pretty obvious. There's, it's like unlimited, it's like virtually unlimited to what's available and what you can profit in the markets, um, trading. So there's no ceiling like a traditional 9 to 5, the opportunity to build wealth independently. So you're able to build wealth and grow independently without having to clock in. You can typically create your own schedule around the trading hours, which would be 24/5. Typically 24/5. You're looking to trade between like Monday to Friday. Um, so that's where you're arranging your schedule. And then flexibility and freedom of time. So that kind of wraps around what I just said. Ability to set your own schedule, trade from anywhere with an internet connection, and appeals to those who want location independence. So that is being able to move around state to state, country to country, and just from the cellular device that you're able to carry around, you're able to, as long as you have some type of connection, like Wi-Fi or service, then you should be able to place trades and make a living from trading right over your phone, essentially. Next is mental challenge and strategy. So trading attracts analytical thinkers who enjoy solving puzzles, patterns, and probabilities. With that being said, do you want to be someone who's able to accept risk? And once you accept the risk, after evaluating the potential profit that you're able to get from this trade, you accept the risk, enter, and either you potentially win or you potentially lose. There's no in between. And it's stimulating, strategic, and requires continuous personal growth. So I think personal growth is one of the biggest challenges that we have because a lot of times we tend to get in the way of ourselves. We tend to want to be these people who are stuck in their ways. And it's almost like we, as we get older, we tend to get like what they call like old dog can't learn new tricks type of thing. But I mean, personal growth is something that you want to strive for. And obviously, when you're trading on an account, there's going to be personal growth with dealing with different lot sizes. So you might get different types of emotions, or similar emotions that, compared to what you used to, compared to how you used to feel emotionally, that can tend to come back once you start scaling and your account and increasing, once you start increasing your lot size. Because when you're increasing your lot size, you're increasing the risk that you used to risk in your previous days of you trading on a lower account. So once you start keeping that in mind, then that's something that you want to be aware of. And at least when you're aware of it, it kind of mitigates the emotion that you could have. So that's why I think fixed dollar amounts of losses compared to percentage losses, if I had to pick which one I'd prefer, it's always going to be the percentage risk because no matter what happens, no matter how big my account gets, I'm always going to maintain the risk so that it helps mitigate my emotional attachment to the money. Then next we have fast results. Compared to traditional traders, you can see progress quickly, sometimes in weeks or months, not years. So once it clicks for you, you'll see that it clicks, and obviously you'll see that in your profit and loss statements that it clicked. And then whatever you see is working, you start doing that same thing over and over and over and over again. It's almost like it's almost like teaching, I would say teaching somebody how to fish. Once you teach someone how to fish, now for life, you'll be able to capture or be a hunter. Instead of a gazelle, you're going to be a lion. Once you're a lion, you're trained to go out there and have that type of sales mentality. Because people who are independent and are in the sales industry, that's the way that you think. You think either like a lion or a lion. Because if you think like a gazelle, then you're cooked. So as long as you think like a lion and not like a gazelle, most people are thinking like gazelles. People who are, I used to think like a gazelle the way that I was trading before. It's like it feels like you're in this type of uh feels like you're in this type of cycle. And in the cycle, as a gazelle, you're like just continuously losing and losing and losing and losing. And it's like you can never take in any profits. The people who are taking in profits are the lions. So the lions are consistent, they're disciplined, they're patient, and that's the type of mindset that you should have. So many, again, also many like that results are based on skill and discipline, not office politics. Not really too sure what that means. Control over your income. Your results are based on your decisions and discipline. No boss, no quotas, just you in the market. So you just keep on raising the bar for yourself. You keep on creating milestone after milestone after milestone. And that is essentially one of the reasons, one of the main reasons why I created the 160 to 1,000 challenge. I think $10, scaling $10 to 100 is not that interesting. And I think 100 to like about 100, right? 160 to 1,000 is more reasonable because people are more likely to have $160 compared to me scaling $1,000 to 10,000. Like, if I want to be more realistic, I think most people nowadays could have 160 rather than having 1,000. Most people probably don't have $1,000 in their bank account to put into a trading account. So, in order for me to be fair to everyone or most people, I said, let me just start with 160 because the $60 cushion over the 100 gives you a little bit of cushion just in case you take some L's. So that's why I did 160 instead of straight $100. You know, I've noticed in my past that once I've seen my equity drop from 160 below, like under, I have 100 or, around $100 and it drops below 100, I think like I have an emotional type of attachment that gets triggered and then I start wanting to revenge trade. So I don't know, maybe that might be the way that it works for others, but that's just me. So, excuse me. Milestones is pretty similar to what I said, quotas. Next is global opportunity. So markets are open worldwide and Forex, crypto, futures, stocks offer access to global capital 24/5 or 24/7. So the opportunity is there and doesn't really not it doesn't really have like I would say too big of an entry barrier because pretty standard. Like if you can scale 160 to 1,000, there's no reason why you can't scale 10,000 or 1,000 to 10,000 and then 10,000 to 100,000 and then 100,000 to a million and then a million to 15 million. It it at the end of the day, it's just numbers, and there's no reason to be afraid of numbers, especially if you're using risk management, you're using proper risk management. Now, the next one we have scalability and leverage, which is kind of what I just went over. So it says you can grow a small account with the right system and risk management. Prop firms and funded accounts let you leverage capital beyond what you personally own. So a lot of times you'll see leverage like 1 to 500 leverage, 1 to 100 leverage, 1 to 50 leverage. And then of course prop firms and funded accounts. Those are evaluation challenges that you guys are probably familiar with, where you pay a certain amount with this prop firm company, and then they'll give you access to, for example, $100,000 account, which would be demo for the most part. And then you have certain quotas to hit without breaking your without breaking the rules that they set for you. And once you're able to do that, they might have different levels, different steps, just depending on which one you choose. And then once you hit the quotas, you'll get a contract. That contract allows you to start profiting now from a different account that they give you access to. But it's probably going to be like 80-20 split or 90-10 split, stuff like that. Instead of you keeping 100%, a lot of times they'll do the split profit from whatever you profit. And then as long as you don't breach the rules, then you should be good. Next is personal development. So that's the last one. It's going to be trading forces you to develop emotional control, patience, and discipline. Those have been the biggest challenges that I've had. And I mean, like I can't think of anything else that, I mean, yes, sales. Sales has definitely contributed to helping me understand my personal emotional level of control, patience, and also having discipline. Because in sales, if you're in sales, you can't force somebody to buy your product or service. If you're in sales, you should have discipline because if you're not even getting hourly pay, where I wasn't getting hourly pay, you have to be a hunter and be the lion, not the gazelle, be the hunter. And regardless of having a bad week last week, a bad month last month, a bad 3 months, there's been a time where when I first got into sales and it took me 3 months to get my first sale. So you have to have that level of discipline to keep on showing up regardless of how you feel and just keep on the doing the work over and over and over again. So putting in the time, putting in the work, putting in the effort, and just thinking in probability, accepting the risk. Hey, I might not make a check this week. I might not make a check this month. I might not make a check in 3 months. But if I keep showing up, then the compound effect should should take the wheel, should take over. And it becomes more than a career, it's a tool for mastering yourself. So those are all those are all self-control, patience, emotional control, discipline. These are all fantastic, and I would say there are a lot of criteria that people people want to have. Like who doesn't want to have emotional control? Who wants to be impatient? Who wants to lack discipline? Who wants to lack emotional control? Nobody wants to lack, miss out on those types of areas. So once you improve on each different area in your life, then you'll start to see things do get better. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. Pretty simple. Then next, what I'll do, let me know what you guys think about what I just said. Share your ideas. What's your comment below? What's your best trait? Is your best trait having emotional control? Is your best trait having patience? Or is your best trait your discipline? Once you answer that, that will give you the opportunity to think about what other areas do I need to work on. If it's emotional control that you're good at, then maybe you need to do a little bit better with patience and discipline. So that's why it's also good to journal because you know what you need to work on week after week. And as you get better, profits start scaling in. Next, what I'll do is I'll start sharing my screen so that we can start looking at the second trading account. And with the second trading account, we're also going to, after I share profit and loss, we're going to start looking at what I'm personally going to expect from the markets this next week, giving you guys trading ideas, free ideas on what to possibly expect from the markets this next week. All right, I'm not sure if is it paused? Oh, okay. All right, so I should be sharing my screen at this point. As you can see, net P&L is 450. So net P&L is 450. That is that's good. That means that with TradeZella, this is my journal, and it's automatically documenting my losses and my profits on the entire account based on all the trades I've taken lifetime. Excuse me. And I started this account again this year. And the most amount of drawdown I probably had on this account was probably $80. Looks like 95. All right, so you can see each of these each of these hit. NZD USD hit 116. GBP JPY hit 418. And USD CHF exited early. Euro USD exited early. So the reasons why I exited these early is because USD, I was already in a solid USD trade of NZD USD. Great entry point. I just think that also this would have given me a better return uh above my over my risk. I would have had a better reward from this potential move rather than the USD CHF and Euro USD. So I thought, since with that being said, I'm gonna start only taking one USD pair at a time instead of multiple, just because you just never know. Because what if all three failed? Then that would mean, um, because of the US dollar, that would be 5, 10, 15% risk that I'm taking as risk on a USD, on USD, on the US dollar. So that doesn't really make sense, especially because I'm finding that that goes against my risk management. So I'm going to maintain that risk management philosophy of 5%. And the way that I'm going to do that is by not risking 5% on the same exact currency, no matter even if it's a different uh pair, such as NZD USD, Euro USD, USD CHF. They all have USD. So yeah, I guess that's a way to think differently than other traders. Here you can see GBP This would have been a really good risk to reward, but it was Friday, it was 4th of July, market around 4 o'clock, 4:30. Market was about to close. And so what I did, I just simply closed it. I didn't feel like entering on a Monday morning with a ginormous spread that could potentially take me out 5%, which on this account, 5% is probably like 60 or $70. I'd rather just wait until maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to get into a good trade idea and go from there. I'd rather not enter a trade when the week is about to end. I think it'd be different if I was in the trade from Tuesday and then the trade continued to flourish until Friday. And then I'm like, hey, well, I'm still up. I'm in profit or whatever the case may be. I've been in this since, Tuesday. I'm just gonna sit sit in this trade over the weekend. Like that's a different story compared to entering a trade on Friday. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much that. And yeah, I mean, not really much else to explain. I mean, if you guys want to see the reports, you can see we equity, right? Equity curve. That's that good equity curve, right? So we're gonna continue to scale this account. Again, I input 975 and now the account's at 1500. So as you can see, this this week made $557. This month, 557. This week, 557. Today, zero, because I didn't trade today. So yeah, we're gonna stick to this week. And then as you can see, this is what the account looks like. Obviously, before, I don't know, the dates would tell you that I was trading on this account in June, January, February, March, April, May. And then we skipped June and went straight to July, trading it in July. And obviously you see the profits are bigger. So yeah, that's pretty much the explanation on profit and loss. Next, what we'll do is we'll start simply marking up. And what I changed on my markup is probably see that my candles are different than last time, I think. But I also am starting to use these different folders here. So watch list is just simply everything as a whole, no matter if it's not ready, active, awaiting, everything's in my watch list. Then we have awaiting entry. So in my awaiting entry section, uh I'll add potential trade ideas. Then we have active positions, which is trades that I'm actively participating in. Then not ready are just trades that I'm not even thinking about this week, or I'm not really putting too much thought in this week. I might set an alert, but it's not something that I anticipate on trading unless for whatever reason price shot down because in my head I'm thinking, price is far from my entry point when I label it as not ready. So I'm gonna uncheck all of these. We're gonna start from scratch just because it's a new week. And I'm gonna clear this out too. CAD JPY, I took profit on this one. So hit take profit. So entered for a 1 to 3, hit take profit. And as you can see, price shot into the opposite direction. That's why it's important to have a take profit because if it wasn't for my take profit, then I would have probably, you know, got wicked out or taken out. I would have definitely got taken out. This candle would have taken me out. All right, so we've got this is CAD JPY. So we've got price bullish, right? If we have price bullish, the last daily high we could argue is here. The last daily low we could argue is here. So if we think that price is bullish on the daily time frame, we think price is going to create a new daily high, then what we'll do is drop down to the 4 hour. Now that we've dropped down to the 4 hour, we can say, hey, I think 4 hour is bullish. Now that I think 4 hour is bullish, I'm going to say, hey, once price comes into at least 50%, because we want to make sure we have a solid risk to reward, I'm going to say, hey, this is where I should see price come into, or we can also look at daily areas of interest. Daily areas of interest. We can argue that this is a daily level or daily area of interest. Now we've got two areas of interest. Um, all right, so green is going to be a waiting entry point. Gold is interesting for this week. Gold is definitely interesting. So now that we see, I mean, we can clearly see that daily wants to give these internal daily lows. Since we're getting internal daily lows, there's a possibility that gold wants to come and take out this low and come into this imbalance around here, or maybe even this imbalance here. So these are our areas of interest for where we want price to head. Now that price on the 4 hour time frame has shifted from bullish to bearish, I've set my alert here because I think that if we can get price in here, there's no daily levels to point out. But if we get price to come into these areas of interest, then we could possibly be able to have a good level of risk to reward. So I'm looking, this is what I'm looking for this week. And I'm gonna do, um, do I have, might have, hopefully I have enough room, enough space for alerts. But yeah, I think that the 4 hour time frame looks bearish. If you can't see that the 4 hour time frame is bearish, I would go down to the 8 hour or go up to the 8 hour. And as you can see, it kind of gets a little bit easier for, well, it gets easier for me, at least. You can see that these big swing points, they're, since we got, excuse me, since we've got a higher low, a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, break of structure. This is a new low. This is a high, lower high. I would think either not this, actually not this. I don't really think that price is gonna just shoot down from here. I think we'll get a higher low here, and then we'll drag price down below, creating a new low on the 4 hour time frame, or 8 hour time frame. So that's gonna be in my trade idea. Next is CAD, a GBP CAD. So we've got bullish signs for the daily time frame, 4 hour. We're looking bearish on the 4 hour time frame. Back to the daily time frame, we can see that there's a level of area of interest, which is one, two, three. So one, two, three touches in this area should probably get, um a good sell somewhere in this area. I mean, there's a possibility that we might take out this low and continue down, but I'm really not sure just because daily is ultimately bullish. So this might not be too good of a trade. I'll still make it green just in case, because it's a possibility that we might get price to jump all the way up here. And if that happens, then that gives us a better reason to enter this trade because that's when the risk to reward is better. Then we have daily bullish on GBP USD. 4 hours also, it's not bullish, it's bearish. So being that the 4 hours bearish, we can see that 4 hours just shifted and we can say, hey, once price gets to this point, maybe we can sell, but we won't really know until, you know, we get confirmation. So I will, if we do get a confirmation, stop loss here, or obviously it'll get adjusted depending on how it looks. I might anticipate this happening. I'll make this one green. USD, what is this? USD CAD. Okay, so I had pointed out that last week I wanted the 4 hour to go bullish, and looks like the 4 hour time frame is still bearish. So since we're still bearish, there's a chance that we can continue moving down. And I mean, we are bullish on the USD CAD. So if the USD CAD is bullish on the daily, 4 hours bearish, I mean, there's a possibility that the Canadian dollar might beat the US dollar, but what I'll do is I'll set an alert up here and then I'll set an alert down here because smaller time frame will let us know whether it makes sense to consider this trade or not. Let's say we wanted to consider this trade. It's a good, that could be an idea right there, but I'll update I'll update everyone in the Discord that's in the bio. I'll update people in the Discord whether I'm taking something like that or not. Daily's clearly bullish with this being the low, this being the high. 4 hour time frame is indicating that both these two price points here are the same levels of support and resistance on the daily time frame as goes for the 4 hour time frame. So we can anticipate price coming into this area of interest and possibly taking price up to create another high because these are all confluences with multiple time frames being in sync. Green. I mean, I've got oil here, but honestly, I don't really like the spread on oil, so I'm just not gonna trade it. It's kind of gives me the UK 100 um vibe, which I don't really like. Then we've got USD JPY is bullish, and then we've got USD JPY on the 4 hour as bearish, or actually bullish as well. So if USD JPY is also bullish, I mean, hmm, we can depend on the retracement so that we know if we want to enter. And if we do want to enter, then we're going to be aiming for this as our high. So since we shifted from bullish on 4 hour or bearish to bullish on 4 hour time frame, we'll wait for a retracement and it's pretty much it. That will let us know whether it makes sense to enter or not for this next upcoming week. This might be trade of the week, USD JPY. Then we got, I honestly don't even look at the weekly anymore, so I might just take it out, taking up space. I'm gonna make this red because I don't really like how this is trading. US oil can get out of here. Euro USD is bullish on the daily, 4 hour is bearish. And I entered and then I exited, but my thoughts are this is in a downtrend, so I would probably make this red. And I'm okay with waiting for price to get down into this area. I think price would come down to this area. But from external to internal, I'm still molding myself into being comfortable trading from external to internal. I'm more so profitable trading internal to external, which would be if I'm taking a trade like this. So this would be int to ext. This one's internal to external. I'm more comfortable with this than I choose this one over this one because this is trading with the trend and this is trading against the trend. Like trading against the higher time frame. So yeah, I really don't like trading against the trend. So for Euro USD, I'm just gonna sit this one out and yeah. And then until we get price to get into this area. So this is one of the things that I said for red, I would still set an alert, but I'm not really entering it for the week. We're probably just gonna get a retracement week down to the side, and then next week we'll probably get some opportunity, or the following week for Euro USD. So it's just not ready yet, and that's okay. That's takes a level of patience to accept that certain things are just not ready yet. Next we've got the I think that this trade is bullish. And if I indicate that this trade is bullish for the daily time frame, then I would say 4 hour would have to be bullish. But 4 hour is not bullish. 4 hour is in fact bearish. And the low for the 4 hour is here. Now let's see if we can get price to close above here. Never miss price. Okay, well, yeah. This is what I was referring to. I figured that I might have price, might not, I might have ran out of price. I'm not trading Euro USD this week anyway, so I'll delete that one. Um, what I should do is input in my trading alerts app. I have an XFX alerts trading app, so I can utilize both, honestly. Euro USD. Price point for Euro USD is potential area of interest. Maybe 15,673. 15,673. Perfect. So next we've got 1519. All right, perfect. So I got an alerts app that I also use. So I'm not really limited on alerts. I could just step up my subscription, but I guess for now I won't. And then we've got GBP NZD. So yeah, I'm gonna do I'm gonna say let's do here. I think that's a key level that we should look at. We've got more imbalance here to fill. And I potentially would like for us to take sells from here, but excuse me, I'm gonna wait to see what price it does here. I would call this one red, honestly. Actually, yeah, red. But at the same time, price is still kind of close, so I'm gonna do green actually. What are the other possibilities? You have to think about all the possibilities. All of the possibilities. I'll do one on TradingView and then one in my app. So the one on my app I'm gonna do 2373. So 2373. There we go. So 2373 is down here, and then we've got price around here that we might enter. We might enter. What is interesting is what's interesting is this is a fake high on the 4 hour time frame. So what I just put in, honestly, is meaningless. It's meaningless. I don't see price getting up here. I see price coming down here because of the imbalance. Hmm. But if price doesn't go here and then it comes down here, then we'll see. Not really too interested in GBP NZD though, but we'll see. GBP AUD has been, I think it just really looks like consolidation. I would only trade the 4 hour time frame, nothing else. I just don't see a reason to trade anything else except for the 4 hour. Just looks useless. Like daily area, a level of area of interest. I want to say this is an area of interest up here, but do we think price will make it up there? I mean, price is already almost halfway at that point, but what about the 15-minute time frame? Don't exactly know, so I'll just put an alert here and then see what happens. And then I'll put a price alert here. Also see what happens. I think I ran out of alerts. 4 hours bearish. The NZD USD is going from external to internal. And we've got imbalance down here, so I know this is probably not gonna work. Yeah, I ran out. I ran out. Let's do, I'll use my app, NZD USD. 60043. All right. Um, we're gonna do red because this is far from our entry point. GBP JPY smashed our take profit. Smashed. I literally woke up in the morning and I did not see myself in this trade anymore. Then I'm like, well, I mean, it must have hit stop loss. Turned out it literally just hit take profit. That's all. All right. So we are bullish, right? Let me actually, this might actually be a really good trade for this week. We might be in for a good one this week. Now that we've got a new high, now that we got a new high on the daily time frame, we can see that the 4-hour time frame has shifted from bearish to bullish. And we can argue that prices made a high here, low here, high here, low here, high here, low here, high here, which means we might get a higher low and then overall a higher high. So now we're in the area of maybe a daily level of area of interest. Daily area of interest, a daily key level, a daily key level, a daily area of interest. So we can probably see an area of interest somewhere here. Now, if we're looking for an area of interest, it would probably be at around 196.67. Boom. So that's area of interest number one. Aside from that, maybe 196.18. So we're gonna just knock these out right now. 196.18. This is the homework that everybody should be doing every week. Like literally every week. Every week. And this is what it takes to train your eyes. This is eye training. Boom. I really like JVP JPY over all of them. CAD JPY's got something similar because the daily's bullish and so is the 4-hour. But the cleaner one would be GBP JPY because both the daily and 4-hour is better aligned. Like this is like yeah, it's bullish, but at the same time it's like stuff going on. It's not like clear bullish. Um, Euro JPY. So now we've got new high. This is a low, new high. Um, oh yeah, that's the low. This is the high. So 4-hour time frame, both are indicated as the low, which means we should be getting a good pullback and meaning I'll move this here. So this will be interesting. But yeah, that is the what I anticipate. Is it a daily level? I'm not really too sure. I mean, but it's worth looking at least. Might consider this, might not. From what it looks like, it might not even give us a 1 to 3, but we'll have to see. I'll make this one red because it's very unlikely. And we've got daily bullish NZDJPY red. It definitely looks consolidation. It looks Just looks like consolidation to me. GBP CHF, I was wanting this to happen, but I entered and remember I exited. If you guys look at last video, I gave you guys the reason for why I exited this, so I'm not gonna waste time on this one. And I'll just take away this alert so I can use it for something else. And 4 hour time frame, red. Could probably get a retracement to this point because there's a lot of imbalance up here. Which means that if we're looking for price to compare, which is probably this entire week it's gonna spend making its way up, then either the following week, like next week or the following week, we could see something like this. But we won't know until it happens. So I'm gonna make this red, Euro AUD. So 4 hour time frame is, look at the daily first. Daily is bullish, right? If the daily is bullish, then this is the high. With us looking at a daily high, we know where the money's sitting. If we know that the money's sitting there, we might want to pull back in order to aim higher, but looks like the 4 hour time frame, oh, it's already hit its take profit. This is out of, no longer interested. Red. It's already done its job. 4 hour time frame, so bullish. Daily time frame, 4 hour time frame is also bullish. And we've got, honestly, this is a simple trade idea. We might just get price to, if the market was open, I'd be in this trade, but we're probably, once the market opens, we're most likely gonna have price literally all the way up here because this was a perfect entry. And it would have given us about a 1 to 6. Unfortunately, this one I didn't even realize. Like I'm gonna put that as top priority. BTC USD, I'm not even, I might just take it off my screen. Like high key, I'm not even interested. I mean, maybe if it gives us what we want based on the entry level that I want, like up here, but yeah, it's like it's just doing too much. I'm making it red. DXY, I think it's going up, and I'll just delete all of my stuff here. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the week. This is my what I anticipate happening this week. This is what I anticipate not happening this week. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different markets. So good luck, everyone, on your trading week. And like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord, follow along with the trade ideas that I drop on a weekly basis. They're clearly profitable. They are clearly making money ideas. for every week or back to back 2 weeks. So we're on a two winning streak or weekly winning streak. Um, that's pretty much it. What do I think will happen this week for this $1,500 account? I do not know. I don't even know. I haven't hit any milestones. I'm currently just working on 160 to 1,000. I don't have any plans for this $1,500 account that I have now, so I just really plan on scaling it. I'm not really too sure if I even want to broadcast the profits because I want one that I'm not really publicly sharing, and that might be the one. So I appreciate you guys following along with this video. Like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord. Thank you guys for supporting and watching till the end, and I'll see you guys next time.